Hey everyone, it's Len at Lion Strong Athletics. If you're going to the gym and working out, it's because you want your muscles to grow. But with growing, you need to recover. And a lot of us are not recovering properly. So today, I want to go over the main points of recovery and go into some tips and tricks that you can implement so that you can recover faster and grow bigger. But first, go hit like and subscribe and leave me a comment on what kind of content you want to see next. The first and probably most important point when it comes to recovery is sleep. And there's a reason why I put this in all caps. It's because it is that important. Sleep is when your body is repairing damaged tissues and releasing hormones so that you can grow the most. Now, ideal situation, we're getting around 8 hours a night. Everyone's a little bit different, but if you're getting 4 hours of sleep, you are not growing. You are not maximizing your potential to grow muscle. Another thing is having a set schedule can be very beneficial for people. Going to bed at the same time every night. Maybe you go to bed at 10 p.m. and you wake up at 6 a.m. and you get those 8 hours in. If you're waking up in erratic times or you're going to bed at different times, your body might not allow itself to get into that deep sleep for longer. Another thing is electronics. Having your phone or a TV on in the bedroom, having that blue light shining at your face, it keeps us awake for longer. So if you can, try to put that to the side earlier in the night. Try not to have a TV in the room if you can help it, and that will help you get a better sleep. And the last point is caffeine intake. We are all so tired at our jobs that we overload with coffee. I know I do sometimes. But really, if we can avoid caffeine in the latter half of the day, we can make sure that our body can wind down and get into a mode where we can sleep longer and deeper. The second thing to consider with recovery is protein. Now, protein is the building block for muscles. And not just muscles, but also our organs. So overnight, as we're sleeping, if we don't have enough protein in our system to grow, our body won't grow. And it will prioritize our organs over our muscles. So we have to make sure that we are in a surplus of protein so that our body is in a position where it wants to grow and wants to repair our muscles. Now, a good starting point here is 1 gram of protein per pound body weight that you want to be. That is your ideal weight or your goal weight. Now, you do have to be realistic with that. Say I'm 200 pounds and my end goal years down the road is 225 lean. I'm not going to necessarily put that 225 as my goal. I'm going to have a goal that's maybe a little more realistic within the next month or 6 months. So I might have 205 grams of protein. Of course, tracking this is incredibly difficult. Protein comes from a lot of sources, but the best sources are meat and protein shakes like whey protein. But if we can try to get in around 1 gram per body weight of our ideal weight, we are setting ourselves up in a position where our body wants to grow and wants to build more muscle. Now, almost nearly as important as protein is water. And that's because our muscles are made up around 70% of water. So kind of on the same point as protein, if we are dehydrated all the time, if we don't have a surplus of water, our body is not going to want to build muscle. It's not going to want to recover because it's using that water for more important areas. But if we have enough water and we're in a surplus, our body is totally fine with rushing water into the cell so that we can grow faster. Okay, now an easy way to keep track of how much you should have in a day, I like to do half of your body weight in ounces per day. So if I weigh 200 pounds, I'm going to try and drink 100 ounces. If you don't know what that is, type it into Google, ounces to gallons or liters, whatever you use, and start keeping track of your intake of water. Now, this also counts all the juices you have, or if you're drinking stuff like milk, you need to put that towards your water intake per day. The next part to proper recovery is a good workout split. And that means that you're giving enough time between workouts for whatever muscle you have damaged to heal. So I'm going to kind of show you how working out works. If we do one workout, this is our baseline for muscle, we are actually damaging, other side, we are actually damaging the muscle. And then over the next few days, sometimes sooner, sometimes longer, we are growing. And we max out our growth at some point past our baseline. And then from there, if we don't work out again, we will slowly taper off back to baseline over time. Now, in a perfect world, in an optimal world, we are damaging the muscle, and then we are letting it heal and grow. And then once we are at our new baseline, our new peak, we are damaging it there and then growing again. And slowly, our baseline gets bigger and bigger, and we are putting on more muscle mass over time. And that's how we can progressively gain size. Now, if we don't give enough time to recover and we get into a suboptimal way of training, maybe we're training chest back-to-back days, or we're doing full body workouts every single day, hitting the same muscles over and over, you're damaging these muscles and you're not giving it enough time to grow, enough even back to baseline, and you damage them again and again and again, you might actually burn out. And instead of growing muscle, you could lose muscle. Obviously, that's not what we want. So we need enough time to recover in between workouts. Now, how much time is enough time? That is person dependent, and it's dependent on the other factors we went over with recovery. It could be 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. For the high-end bodybuilders who recover very fast, it could be 2 days. Either way, we need to find out what works for us, and we need to have enough time in between workouts so that we can grow properly and recover. Now, the last part of recovery, and potentially optional part, is using supplements. And these are helping us reach our goals of sleep and protein and water. Okay, so we can use sleep aids to help us. Maybe you struggle getting to sleep. There are things on the market that you can use to help you fall asleep or stay asleep longer. You can use protein, whey protein shakes. It's a great way to increase your protein intake if you're not getting in enough from meats or other sources. We also have creatine as an option. A lot of studies show that creatine can increase recovery time. I believe that's largely to do with the fact that creatine pushes water into the cell. And if you have more water, you're in a position where you want to grow more. Another option is a vasodilator, something like citrulline or arginine. These products dilate your veins and arteries, and I'm assuming it helps you get more protein to the muscles easier. It gets the nutrients it wants to grow, and that's why these are effective. And the last part is BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, as well as EAA, essential amino acids. These are protein building blocks. So it's just back to getting enough protein in your diet. But you can add these supplements wherever you're lacking, whichever aspect you are short in, whether it's sleep or protein or water. You might want to tackle one of these things first or all of them at the same time. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into recovering and growing. You have to make sure you have enough sleep, protein, water, a good workout split, and then maybe some supplements on the side. Assess your own life, assess your own workouts, and make the changes you need so that you can recover and grow. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're looking for supplements or a workout plan, click the link below, go to my website. I have a list of supplements there and workout programs so that you can be lion strong.